Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Something Something podcast. My name is Eric Kasloff, and with me, as always, is Larry Sands. How's it going, Larry?
Oh man, welcome to 2026.
I
It's
know, man.
good. It's
Yeah.
good. It's
First
good.
show of the new year.
I love, and it's a big one too.
Yeah, I'm very excited about today's episode, Larry. It's going to be so much fun, but man, we're going to be kicking off this new year with goals. We're going to be talking with the music guy very soon
Yep.
about Hillsborough Road.
Yep.
We got a lot of great stuff to talk about with that movie, man. Again, I am getting over hating myself for how long it's taking it to get done, but I'm feeling better. I'm not waking up with the sweats anymore.
No, I mean, I think when you produce it, when you edit it, when you do everything, I think you can get really overwhelmed.
Hmm.
And I don't, I mean, honestly, when you create something, you want to be able to look at it and be proud. You don't want to have like anxiety. So I get it, man. I get it.
Yeah.
But Eric, it's good and it's going to get done and it's getting done. So yes,
So,
yes.
Larry, unlike you, I absolutely love movies.
Not true.
The
You know
movie
what movies I
theater,
watch? I watch Pluto. You know what I watch?
okay,
I watch Shooter. I watch Indiana Jones. I watch them all as long as
okay.
they come on Pluto.
Yeah, well, I go to the movies a lot. I was in the theater 36 times last year. I keep track.
Wow. That's
And
why I can't get a hold of you.
one of my favorite movie going experiences of last year was the sequel to Five Nights at Freddy's. Now, I like the games a little bit, but I like more the lore of the games
Right.
because
Right.
you could spend 10 hours just listening to all the fan theories. I mean, there's a guy named Game Theory who started his whole career talking about Five Nights at Freddy's.
Really?
Yeah, and now he's like producing a Broadway play and doing
Wow.
all sorts of stuff. So
That's a way to do it.
I liked the first movie a lot. So I went into the sequel and man, I guess it's just the filmmaker thing. You watch movies differently. You're like,
Yeah.
man, that
Yeah.
actress, this is really, really good.
Yeah.
And then I
Yeah.
got emotional and angry during the opening of the movie. Like, hey, come on, what are you doing, adults? Have a heart.
Okay, I have to throw this in. So I did see Five Nights at Freddy Part 2 with my niece here at the house. And I kept asking her, this is a children's or kids horror movie? I was like freaking out. And you know how I watch horror movies like this,
Yeah,
right? And
yeah.
that was one. And I was quite surprised, but I'm with you. The first part, the first 10 minutes of
Yeah,
Five Nights at Freddy's, right?
about that. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then other stuff too, our guest was in, and
Oh
she
yeah.
just
Oh,
really pulled me in. I felt for her, and I was like, you know what? She's kind of justified for all the stuff she's doing. She's doing nothing wrong right now.
no,
So, Larry,
no.
tell everybody about our guest.
Oh my gosh. I am so excited to introduce our guest for our first show back in
And also the
2026.
second youngest person we've ever had on the show. The
That's
Ghosty
right.
girls still
Oh,
hold
that's
that
right.
title.
Yeah, 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 that's right. Audrey Lynn-Marie, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. It means so much to me.
Oh, thank you so
Well,
much for saying yes.
Yeah, of
yes,
course.
yes, yes. You and to hear Eric talk about it and to watch it and now to be able to talk to you. Number one, you look so different. You look so different than the movie, which is great because it's kind of like an actor thing, right? You want to transform yourself
Mhm.
into your character. So, good job on
Well,
being
thank
a little
you.
scary in the movie. Um, Audrey, let's talk about what should we talk about first? Your inspiration or Five Nights at Freddy's? What do you guys think?
Let's lead into Five Nights. So tell us how it all
Okay.
started, because I know
Yeah.
reading your bio, man, you started acting at 5 years old.
I
I
did
don't think I
start
knew
with
how to
theater.
walk at five.
Uh, so yes, tell us a little bit about how you get started and then your inspiration for being an actress or a creator.
Yeah, of course. So, I started at the age of 5, like you said, in theater, which was very fun and I really enjoyed it. But then that kind of sparked my interest for like starting acting classes and stuff. And honestly, the first 2 years of my acting career, I don't think I booked like anything. It's just like for everybody almost, it's so hard to like just get started and
Yeah.
because you have to kind of get your name out there to all the casting directors and
Mm.
producers and stuff. It's
Yep.
very hard, but it's
Yep.
definitely a lot of fun once you start getting on set. Like I wasn't like sold that this is something I really wanted to do for a long time until I got on the first set that I was on and I was like, I love this.
Ah,
Like it
that's
was
awesome.
yeah, it was so great. And then like um I just kept going and then funny story actually about Five Nights at Freddy's is when I got the audition, I didn't know really anything about the franchise at all. I
Really?
had heard the name before, but just I hated horror, honestly. Like I could
Wow.
not I and when I was younger, like probably around 5, I got nightmares from like a Tinkerbell movie. So
That is
I was not a big fan of
hilarious.
horror, but then I watched the first one the same way you said you watch horror movies like this,
Right.
and it actually helped, and I actually enjoyed the first movie a lot, and then being on set and stuff, I actually kind of love horror now, like Scream and stuff, and
Awesome. My all-time favorite movie.
oh
That's
really? That's
cool.
great, yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. You know what? Actually, let's go back for a minute. What was your very first performance on set that really transformed your thoughts into
Well,
making
let's say
acting a career?
on stage, then we'll get to your on-set
Mm.
Okay.
experience.
Okay.
Well, on stage, I believe was I think I was a squirrel in Into the Woods, which I
Okay.
don't really know the story of Into the Woods at all. I was just a random squirrel that like came out and like stole something and like left the stage or something. But then I moved up in grades and stuff and like the theater got more advanced, so I was able to actually get lines in some plays and stuff. So that was really fun.
That's cool.
I
That's
got a
cool.
story about Into the Woods. So I'm from New Jersey, and as a little kid, they would show commercials for plays on TV, kind of like they do for movie trailers. And I always remember getting home from school, ready to watch my cartoons, and the commercial for Into the Woods would come on, scared the heck out of me. And I was already I went as Jason to my Halloween party in first grade, but the commercial for Into the Woods would always scare me and I didn't want to watch TV anymore.
That's
That's
hilarious.
hilarious.
I love
Oh,
that.
yep, that's cool. That's cool. Fast forward to your first time on set. What was that like?
Well, actually, my first set that I was ever on was actually a Village People music video.
What?
That's cool.
Yeah, it was I was just like a little elf. Like it was like a Christmas music video and I was just like an elf like sorting presents in the background.
That is
Um,
awesome.
but even though that was like my first set, I honestly enjoyed it a lot and I didn't know what it would be like on like sets like Five Nights at Freddy's 2 and stuff. I'm still like I can't believe that I got to even go on that set. Like I feel like I shouldn't be there. Like I'm like but it just it means so much to me. But definitely that first acting job like kickstarted all of this and it was great.
That's very cool. That's very cool. There's always that something that with the creative, like when you get into doing projects, there's always something that kind of grabs onto you and just kind of sticks and holds, right? So you watch Five Nights at Freddy's, and then did you know that you were gonna go audition for Five Nights at Freddy's Part 2? What was that like for you?
Well, like I said, I knew nothing about it when I actually
Mm-hmm.
got the audition. And I first
Oh.
actually auditioned for the character Young Vanessa, who my best friend Miriam Spunkin plays.
Okay.
Because I
Oh.
actually have blonde hair in real life, or
Oh,
not in
wow.
real life. I mean, this is real life, but like
Yeah, yeah, I know
my
what you
natural
mean.
hair color, my natural hair color is blonde, and I had to dye it for Charlotte. But
Wow.
my first audition was for Young Vanessa. So I went through that audition process and I didn't really know much about the franchise. I knew it was like a big franchise and it was still really cool. And then once they came back and were like, we want you to audition for Charlotte, which I didn't know was Charlotte because they had like a code name and the name was Wendy. So it was,
Oh.
Oh,
I just thought it was a random kid. Like, I don't, and then, um, since I had a call back, I thought like me and my mom were like, we might as well watch the first one to like get to know what we're actually getting into here.
oh no.
And then so we watched the first one. I actually liked it, even though it scared me a little bit. I still liked it. And then I had the callback and stuff. And then after I booked it, me and my mom again were like researching the character of Charlotte, and we started to realize how important she is to the franchise. And it like blew me away. I'm like, how can I can't believe that I get the privilege to play such an amazing character. I mean, she's William Afton's first kill, which is really cool. So it just means a lot to me that I got even a chance to audition for this.
Because you got to look at it like this. You have something in common with Drew Barrymore. You were both killed by Stu Macher, Matthew Lillard.
That's amazing. That's
I know,
amazing.
that's so cool, actually. That's awesome.
You know, to hear you talk, it is quite something, I think, because as you're doing and going through the process of auditioning and then booking the role, and then when you're on set, do you realize what how important things are when you were on set and seeing all these people work on Five Nights at Freddy's Part Two?
It definitely like took a minute to sink in like really how awesome this is, especially once I got on set. I'm like this they built the set like everything by hand, like
Wow.
lifted like what like 8 feet off the ground
Yeah,
so that they could have the whole like marionette under the floor and stuff, and like the amount of detail that was put into that set and the like the kindness from everybody and like
yeah,
all the different people with all the different jobs and stuff really just fascinated me so much. I mean, I love being on set because I love getting to see all the different jobs that people do. Like, I honestly love continuity in films and stuff, so I would love
yeah,
to do that on set one day. Um, and like script supervisor and stuff. And I just love seeing how everybody works together. And it's just, it did take me like a minute until I got on set to really realize like how big this fan base was and how huge it was to be a privilege to be on this movie, and it was great.
yeah. That's cool. And to be so young and to be able to realize that and appreciate it says a lot about you and where
Exactly.
you are as a creative um, actress at this point, right? I
Thank
think
you.
it's highly, you're welcome. I think it's highly important. And always take that because when you're on a professional set, everybody is so nice and so caring, and everybody has the same goal is to make something great and beautiful, right?
That
Whether it's a horror movie, but you still want to make it good. And I think for you to realize that is absolutely professional in itself.
You
Thank
know,
you.
we're
Absolutely.
going to talk about
You're
other
welcome.
stuff. We're going to stay in this lane a little bit. What was so amazing is you being at such a young age and going into let's be honest, a worldwide phenomenon
Mm,
that is Five Nights at Freddy's, and the way you did such a good job. Like, I didn't see any intimidation in you from being in something so big and having again this character who's so important to the lore. You were just killing it on set during the movie. I was so impressed by you. It was like, man, she's I'm really worried for her. It's like I want to save this child.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I must say my niece was super excited to know that you were going to come on and um to be on the show. She did want to ask what's the best advice would you give to a child actor that wants to start?
Yeah, of course. I love giving advice like this. I would definitely have to say for like starting acting and stuff, Um, Definitely like the first uh goal I guess would be like sign up for like Actors Access backstage and like get an agent and stuff because I couldn't have booked Five Nights at Freddy's 2 without my agent. And I love her so much. She's so great and so sweet to me. And then definitely like self-submit and stuff. But for stuff that's like for you personally or for a child actor personally, would definitely be don't give up. If it's something that you really love and that you really want to do, definitely pursue it because I've experienced this so many times. There's like so much rejection in this industry because there's like for some like for such a big movie, like any movie really, there's thousands of submissions and only one person is going to get it. And so like casting directors have to reject so many people and it's very hard to like come back from that because there's been so many roles like so many movies that I've been like huge fans of before like I got the audition and then I get the audition I'm like this is insane that I just got this audition and then I don't end up booking it but I still you still kind of have to like um what's the right word
Persevere.
like yeah definitely persevere and definitely take the auditions as a win too, because it's like the casting director was
Yeah.
scrolling through thousands of little thumbnails and they picked you to audition, which is such a big privilege. And so definitely don't give up if it's something that you really want to do.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
during those 2 years that you were saying when you were getting, I don't like saying the word rejected because that's such a negative thing. When you were preparing for your first yes, that's a better way to do it.
Eric, there's no way around it, but it's a good way
Mhm.
to put it. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
just a better way to word it is,
Mhm.
preparing for your first, because every no is closer to a yes.
That's Danny
What was
Yeah.
DeVito.
it
Yeah.
like for you and also your family? Because I'm sure it must have been hard for them to see your reaction to not booking stuff. So what was that period like?
It was definitely hard. There were a lot of times where I'm like, I don't really understand why I'm doing this if I'm never gonna book anything. And it's a lot harder once you especially get to like the final round of callbacks and then they're like they actually have to tell it to your face that you're released and stuff. It's not as like heartbreaking when you just don't hear back from an audition. I mean, sometimes it can be, of course, but it was very hard and there were lots of times that I just felt like just taking a break or something. But I'm so grateful that my mom and my dad and my family helped me like persevere through that time to be able to like lead up to getting this amazing movie and stuff and hopefully more to come because
Oh,
it's
definitely more
honestly
to
so
come.
great.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know, there is, so coming from an acting background, and I absolutely know about what'd you call it? Rejection? No. What is it? One
Preparing for your first yes.
there you go, there you go. And it is hard. And you know, actors, I think, because there's so many things that come up against us, it's not just you can be the best actor in the world, but it becomes, do you look like the character? Do you
Yeah,
walk like
yeah,
the, do you
definitely.
sound like them?
Hmm.
And actors get so much up in their head, which happens to everybody, but actors in particular, because every audition we go to, it's like, oh man, this is so great, this is gonna be good, and then all of a sudden you don't hear anything, and you
Hmm.
do make it to two or three callbacks, and you get put on a veil, and you get released, and you're like, oh, now what? So
Yeah.
to hear at a young age, and I think this goes for really any creative person that is on the acting side, having to wait to get cast and things. I think to hear you talk about it in such a grown-up manner, I think
Really impressive.
very impressive. I
Thank
I
you.
think you're welcome. I think your parents have done a wonderful job
Completely.
at keeping you where you need to be, your headspace and stuff. And I commend your parents for being able to support you in what you want to pursue. Um, but yeah, I think it's absolutely amazing. Which takes me, Eric, if you don't mind, on to because I think as a creative, and I think Eric, you may feel the same way. We always have to keep moving and creating opportunities for ourselves, right? And I think it's really really impressive that you have a podcast.
That is so cool.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yes, yes. You are the co-host.
Yes.
Can you talk about your podcast partner and what the podcast is about?
Yeah, of course. So, my podcast partner, his name is Luke Speakman, and he's been in like the new Weapons movie. He's gonna be in
Really?
the new John Money movie that's coming out
Wow.
soon. So that's really cool that I get to do a podcast with him, and he's so sweet to work with. And we actually just dropped our first three episodes last night, so that's really
Oh,
exciting. And the podcast is called Real Kids, Real Talk. So basically, we go on there and we have other child actors who have been in other films and stuff kind of talk about their experience on set, kind of like what we're doing here, like
Yeah.
how did we start acting,
Yeah.
all that fun stuff. And
Yeah.
it's honestly just so great to be able to actually be a host of a podcast, and it's so much fun, like preparing the questions and like
yeah.
getting to hear all the different ways that people started and everything, and it's really cool.
I
Well, I
love it.
gotta
I
know,
love it.
since you're doing something with someone from Weapons, have you seen Weapons?
I have not seen Weapons yet. I
Don't,
want to see it
please,
though.
please don't. Please.
Do it like
Ninety
this.
90% of what I watch is horror and then Hallmark movies. I left the movie Weapons, not myself. I get home
Really?
and my mom
Wow.
goes, "What's wrong with you?" Mom, the movie I just saw.
Really? That's wild. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
it messed with me so bad I can't explain it to you.
Ugh. Yikes, yikes. Let me be the first, and Eric, let us be the first to, we would love to have you guys on the
Oh,
podcast.
thank
So
you.
absolutely, yeah, absolutely. To hear you guys talk and everything, I think that's amazing. Um, Talk about how you, so we know everything that goes on in the industry for you and going on. How do you take yourself away from acting and just be a kid?
It's definitely hard sometimes because there are some times like that you want to focus on like trying to get this script right or developing this character for this like major audition and stuff. And sometimes it is hard to like um because sometimes it feels like you kind of have to like overanalyze the script, or like sometimes I feel like I haven't analyzed it enough for this audition and stuff. But sometimes I just have to like go somewhere with a friend or something, and it kind of
Yeah,
helps gets my mind off of it. But I love acting, so it's like I don't hate to like analyze scripts and stuff and like develop these different characters, and especially for the role of Charlotte, I definitely had to feel what it would feel like to be her. So that took a lot of like studying and stuff. But
that's
um
cool.
it's just I love acting. So it's like, but then I also have like other hobbies I do. Like I used to do horseback riding, but
Oh wow.
and taekwondo, but I sadly
Whoa.
actually fractured my spine. So I haven't been able to do
You
that.
poor thing. Are you okay?
It actually like didn't hurt that bad. It didn't feel like my spine just like broke in half, but it kind of did.
Wow.
But it didn't actually
Wow.
break in half. It's just like a disc slipping and stuff. But
Still, that's such a bad news.
Just a disc
You,
slipping.
you
That's
just
poor
funny.
thing. I am so sorry.
That's
it's
yeah, that
okay.
is. So did you have to have a cast or you just like didn't have to do anything? You
I
just
did have to do like physical therapy and stuff, and
yeah.
I still do, but it's just there was no like cast involved and stuff. It was more of
That's
like a
good.
stress fracture because I also did gymnastics, and I was doing like back bends like over and over and over again. So
Yeah.
it was rough on my back. Yeah.
Oh
Oh
man.
man.
Man, man. But you know what? Your focus and I'm glad because like my niece was we were talking, I think I told you, Eric, is she wanted to do acting. She likes it and everything. And she had an opportunity to do a couple things and she loves soccer. And I think this kind of goes along
I
with
mean
what you were
football.
saying, Audrey. And yes, football, thank you. But uh I said, "Hey, Harper, do you want to do this? It's on such a such day." She goes, "Well, what about soccer?" And right then and there, I knew. that there can't be anything else other than acting, which is a job. For an adult, it's in a job, and a job, and a job. But for kids in particular, every you guys have a life, and it's hard. It's hard to have a child's life, but then do the acting thing.
Mhm.
And I think there's nothing wrong with that, but you've made the conscious decision to like pursue acting and go at it as hard as you can. And I think it's commendable because I love acting. So I know how you feel. I know how you feel. I know how it is. So yeah.
So, do you find yourself watching movies differently now, the deeper
Ooh,
you're getting
good
into acting?
question.
Like maybe a few years ago, movies were just fun, but now you're like, what was the reason for that choice? So, here's a question. Is there any movie you watched before you were deep into it that you've watched now that your opinion has changed a little?
Ooh.
Hmm. The only movie that comes off the top of my head would be Hunger Games because I'm a huge fan of Hunger Games. I love all of the movies so, so much. And I I don't know. I don't think I watched Hunger Games before I was an actor. I honestly can't remember because I've watched it so many times, but there's
Okay.
definitely been times where I'm like, I definitely watched it like before I had been on set like a ton. But then especially after being on like Five Nights at Freddy's and stuff, I just picture like the big cameras in their face and stuff. And then also like what how did they come up with this shot? How did they um how did they pick these actors? Like all that kind of stuff that kind of comes to a realization for you and stuff. And it's really cool. And I actually just started watching Stranger Things
Ooh.
maybe a month ago,
Mhm.
and I'm already on season 5. I kind of binged it, but
Oh, that's
what for me makes Vecna a little less scary is just actually last night I just watched like behind the scenes of how they did his makeup, and like his makeup was like
oh.
8 hours, and it's like it's insane to like think about what goes into such like a big series like that. And I mean
Yeah.
anything really, it takes so much effort, and if like
Yeah.
one actor quits, it's really hard to like
Yeah.
keep going. So
Very
yeah, it's
hard.
It's
really
funny
cool.
you mentioned Stranger Things because tomorrow we are having Tristan. I can't pronounce his last name, and he played number two in
Oh, that's
season 4,
awesome.
the guy who bullied 11.
Oh yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, uh, let's talk. Were you able to meet Josh Hutcherson?
I did, and he was really sweet.
Oh, wow.
We actually met in the hair and makeup trailer, and he was getting his hair cut, and it was really funny. But we actually talked about like behind the scenes stuff with Hunger Games, which was insane for me because I'm such a big fan of Hunger Games. I
Yeah,
was
Yeah.
like
yeah,
freaking out. It was
yeah.
really cool, and just it was really awesome to get to meet him.
That's
Have you
cool. That's
seen
very
his
cool.
test footage for Spider-Man? It just surfaced online. It's
Mm.
really cool. He was up for Peter Parker.
Oh, really? That's
I
Yeah.
could see
cool.
that. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah,
That's
me
cool.
too.
That's
That's
cool.
cool.
Yeah, that's very cool.
So now being in Atlanta, which is such a huge hub for movies right now, is there like a lot of auditions, you're like a lot of casting stuff that you're able to go out for, or is it like slowed down lately?
It's picking up a little bit after the holidays, but this past like ever since this last summer, it's been a little slow, but it's picking up a little bit more now. There's been a few auditions and stuff, but it's fun when I get a new audition and I get to see what I might be up for and stuff. So it's
That's
really
That's
cool.
cool.
awesome.
That's cool. What kind of crafting do you do?
Crafting?
Yeah.
Oh, well, like if we're talking about like physical like crafts,
Yeah, yeah, because
mhm,
reading your bio, you do crafting.
I
And I was
do.
just wondering. So yeah.
Well, my passion for like arts and crafts started. Um, I love horses. Like I said, I do horseback, or I used to do horseback riding and stuff. So I actually have this huge model horse collection. I
Oh,
have like 200 something horses. It's absurd.
holy jeez.
But I used to make like bridles for them and like saddles and stuff. That's kind of what started I don't do that anymore really. Now I definitely do like painting and stuff. I enjoy that a lot.
That's cool.
What else do I do? Oh, I also do a little bit of crocheting. I'm
Oh,
trying.
wow.
It's really hard, but I'm trying.
Yeah,
And a few
yeah.
other things that I just get like a spark. I'm like, I want to make something with pipe cleaners or something, and
Oh, that's
That's
cool.
I
awesome.
try.
That that's
I
very
remember
cool.
making dinosaurs with those in first grade. That was always fun. But I think it's really great and important that, acting is your passion, but
Yeah.
you're having these other hobbies to make sure
Yes.
that you're still just a kid, and then when you get older, you still have these things that you can unwind and just be yourself. Again, movies are my passion. I would rather be analyzing scripts and writing all day, but, to me, it's important that I play a video game or
Hmm.
walk my dog, when he's not being bad and trying to bite strangers.
How important is it, Audrey, to be in class as an actor?
Well, if we're talking about like school and stuff, I'm actually homeschooled.
No, acting
So
No,
classes, acting
acting
oh,
classes.
classes.
acting
Yeah,
classes.
yeah, acting
Okay.
classes. Yeah,
Got it.
yeah, yeah.
Acting classes, it's definitely important when you first start to get, I mean, there's classes on like everything. There's classes on like self-tapes, anything you can think of. And also my friends own a business called Atlanta Real Kids. And inside of that kind of is something called the Village that like actors can sign up for and um help them they help them like they have a book and stuff and help
That's
the
amazing.
parents. And then that's kind of where our me and Luke's podcast was born and stuff too. So it's really cool.
That's
But
awesome.
I mean just classes in general are really great. Um I mean there's even classes on like self-tapes on how to like do your setup and everything and like the
Wow.
lighting and the cameras and stuff. It's really fun.
That's cool. That's
That is
very
so
cool.
cool that
That's
you're able
very
to get
cool.
so detailed because you're growing up in this different world of auditioning when, Larry was like when he was in LA doing the act, driving to
Everywhere.
auditions,
Yeah,
waiting in the
yeah.
line. And when you guys were talking about that, I was making me think because I'm usually on the other side of auditions. And it's
Hmm.
hard for me because I've worked with kids since I was a teenager doing Sunday school and, youth group. And all of my movies had kids in them. And I usually make horror movies. And it was so hard for me when little kids would come in to audition because I just wanted to give them all the part. Like, how can I get all 20 of these kids to play the same character at the same time? But and it's great that now, since self tapes are pretty much the main way to go now, even big movies are doing that. Like the guy who played Superman just now did, self tape. He submitted that stuff. And it's
Wow.
just cool that you're growing up in this film industry 3.0,
Yeah,
where
yeah.
you're doing all this different stuff and learning how to master each area of that. That's so cool.
Thank you. Yeah, it's crazy how everything kind of changed after COVID. Like, I wasn't like fully in like the acting industry, like film industry, until like right after COVID. But I I had I've only done a few in-person callbacks, but I can't even imagine like having to go um just to like for having hundreds of other people there for like an in-person audition. It just seems crazy to me that like you might have to drive like 2 hours for just an audition. But I mean, I definitely admire the people who did that because that is like that takes a lot of work. I probably wouldn't have done it.
Really? Oh,
But
wow.
I mean, I probably would have. I
I think
Yeah,
I think you
it's
yeah.
would
I
have, and you
think
would have
so.
killed it. You would have
Yeah,
done good.
yeah. Yeah. But there's nothing like walking into an audition going, "Man, I got this. I look unique." And then there you walk in, you see like a bunch of other people that look like you and you're like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah,
Why?
that's definitely a perk of self-taping is you get
Exactly.
to see your opponents, but then it's also kind of like hard because you don't know like who booked this role. I want to know who booked this role, you know?
I
I
know.
love
I
that you could
know.
see you're a Hunger Games fan because you call them your opponents. You're just looking, oh yeah, I'm gonna kill all of you if I get the chance to get this part. I'm gonna go Katniss on all of you.
That's awesome. That's cool. That's cool. You know, Audrey, looking into the future, could you see yourself kind of becoming more behind the scenes as you progress into the film industry?
I'm gonna say yes and no because I love acting and like being in front of the camera and stuff, and that's definitely a big passion for me, and I'm always gonna do that, I feel like. But then if I get a chance, I would love to be on set too. Like
Yes.
I love both things, and like I said, like I would love to be a script supervisor or a director or a writer, and
That's
it's
so
just really
cool.
awesome.
That's
Um,
awesome.
to be able to like create something. And
Yeah,
I mean, even the actor helps create it, which is really, really cool. And so I would love to do both.
I love that.
That's
I love
awesome.
that. Always, it's like that little stream. It's like feng shui, right? You're that little paper boat and you're just kind of going down the moving stream and you're just kind of following it and you're working hard as well. So,
Thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Again, I don't know, Eric, if you have anything else.
No, I mean, I would
Um,
love to stay and chat
I
forever, but we
I
know you're
know.
busy
I
and
know.
this is only part one. We're gonna
Yeah.
have you on for a bunch more times. I got
Yes.
that
Oh, that'd be
feeling.
awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was just
that would
so,
be.
yeah.
Hmm. No, go ahead, Eric. I'm sorry.
It was just so great to be able to meet you and to see how mature you are as you're not a kid who's acting, you're an actress who just happens to be a kid. The way you're conducting yourself during this
Yeah,
interview has
yeah.
been amazing. We've had adults on the show that we can't get 5 words out of, and it's really hard, but you're such a natural, and it was a real pleasure having you on.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank you
All
so
yeah.
of
much.
Aubrey's links will
Yes.
be in the description when this goes up, so you can check it out. And make sure to check out her podcast. Now, is it Real REEL Kids, or how is?
So it's REAL, like real kids, and then
Okay, okay.
REEL talk. So it's like it's kind of a play on words, which is
Yeah.
I love the name so much because it's like
Yes.
real kids are talking about real things,
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
yeah. I
yeah.
love that. I love
I
Yeah.
that.
love it. I love it. And we would love to have you guys on to talk about obviously your podcast and about your shared experience about being child actors, kid actors. So,
Yeah, that'd be great. I would love
yeah.
that. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll
Us
start
too.
working
Us
everything
too.
out.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Awesome. Yeah, thank
Yes,
you.
yes. And Audrey, don't go anywhere. Eric, as soon as you wrap
Yes.
up, then we'll do our little wrap up thing with you, Audrey and Eric. I know for me, I just want to say thank you for sharing your life and your passion and what sets you apart in the industry. So congratulations and just thank you for coming on.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's such a privilege that I got to do this podcast. That means
Oh,
so
thank
much
you
to me.
so
So thank
much.
you guys, and it was
Thank
so
you.
great to meet you guys.
Nice meeting
Well,
you.
again, all of Audrey's links will be in the description. You're going to be hearing from her so much in a few years, and you're going to be able to say, "Yeah, I remember listening to her and watching her on the something something
That's
podcast."
right.
So weird that those two guys were kicked out of the country. Everybody, thank you so much for listening. Remember, support New Life Village.